Well, hi everybody, Ken Johnson here with you, and we're still tracking two storm systems as we head into the not too distant future here. The first of which will be moving across the southern part of the southern plains here, or over the or through the southern plains, I should say, on Sunday. May bring with it a little thunderstorm chance, and then another storm is going to be a bigger storm is going to be impacting the region as we head into next Tuesday, so early next week. And if we kind of take a look at here, the Sunday system again. Isolated thunderstorms over parts of northwest Texas and western parts of Oklahoma here, and that would be Sunday afternoon. Nothing major, maybe a little hail at the most here. Then we look ahead into early next week. This would be maybe late Monday into Tuesday. A stronger system will be crossing the area, and that brings with it here a chance for some severe weather this go round, mostly east of us. You know, early on in the spring season, the severe weather is usually targeted just east of us here in Texoma here. But as they move through, we get that dry air coming through on the backside of the dry line, and we get the windy conditions too, and that could promote some high fire weather concerns. I know there's a lot of hype on social media. It's just incredible the amount of hype that you see on social media regarding the early next week storm system and the severe weather potential with it here. But I think kind of lost in that shuffle is the fact that there could be also a big threat for some fire weather concerns as we head into early next week, too, across parts of Texas and Oklahoma and maybe up there into Kansas here. So I think that's just too much weather hype, honestly. And here's the reason why. Yes, and we're talking about the yays and the nays here with this system here. Yes, it is a strong-looking storm system at this point in time. And we do see moisture increasing. And again, this is going to be east of us, mainly east of I-35 here. There's going to be moisture on the increase with this as well. Some moisture coming in from the Gulf. It's a strong system overlapping it. I don't deny that at all. At least this early on in the game, it does at least have that look to it. And it's got the strong winds with the jet stream. It's got the also it's got the wind shear. It's got some ingredients that it would need, or at least that's the way it looks right now. But again, is it necessary to be hyping a big tornado outbreak at this point in time? Absolutely not. I think it's irresponsible, to be honest about it here. This system is still 5 days away. This recording here is on Thursday here. It's still 5 days away. And while that is within a reasonable range anyway to tell us that there could be some severe weather or there could be something pretty strong with it, it's just way too early to be throwing out these big, bad, major, super tornado outbreak words like we're seeing on social media right now. It's causing a lot of anxiousness, storm anxiety. It's causing a lot of confusion amongst the public here. And most of what you're seeing are just the guys on social media that just like to do that. They're just going to do it. There's nothing we can do about it, and there's some of them out there that are responsible with it, but a lot of them are not here. So, and why you don't really want to throw out big terms at this point in time here is the fact that to get a tornado outbreak, a big one, conditions have to be ideal for it. I mean, you got to have the strong storm system, you got to have the storm energy with it here, you got to have the wind shear, the cap strength has to be just right here, and it's just this far out in advance, our weather information just, while it's good, it isn't quite good enough to show these small-scale features that will determine, what you're going to see. To get a tornado outbreak, the storm mode has to be supercellular here. I mean, we're talking about multiple supercells producing tornadoes. Supercells are thunderstorms that are by themselves, or they're semi by themselves here, and they can take full advantage of the atmosphere. That means they're able to gobble up all that energy here. They're able to spin and rotate. There's nothing that interrupts this organization there. It's updraft organization, and it allows it to concentrate all that energy right there on that one area here, and it helps the storms produce longer, stronger track tornadoes. Fortunately, on a large-scale basis, we don't really see that come together too often. It does happen, but it don't come together all the time here. And again, this is for next week. We're looking at, you could be looking at, probably the more likely scenario is going to be mostly a squall line. Now, a squall line is just one line of thunderstorms here that usually with the squall line, damaging winds is your main concern. But you do get these what we call QLCS. It means quasi-linear convective type spin-ups, little small spin-ups that can occur within the line. And usually those are weaker, briefer type tornadoes. Occasionally they can be a little stronger, but usually most of them 9 out of 10 times on the EF0, EF1 scale. But again, it's too far out to say that that's for sure going to happen here. So again, tornadoes are more likely with the supercell and a weaker variety with a squall line. So again, I just think there's just way too much hype out there. at this point in time. I don't deny that there's going to be a chance for severe weather. I'm not saying there's not, and I'm not saying there won't be tornadoes. There probably will. But to be throwing super mega tornado outbreaks like I'm seeing over social media, that's irresponsible, and it really, really irritates me, and I think it irritates most responsible meteorologists here. So if you look behind me here, this is Sunday's system. It's not ideal for a big severe weather event with that. You don't have a lot of moisture with it, and there's going to be maybe some thunderstorms underneath these little pockets of energy here you see in the upper atmosphere. There could be maybe some colder air aloft, and that might help produce some thunderstorms, just a little bit of hail, but don't look for much here. That kind of zips on out of the way. And then we look at the next system. This will be on Monday, and you can already see it beginning to come into place. And this is from the afternoon runs of what we call the GFS computer model. Now, when you want to see a system, we call it synoptics. It means way up high in the atmosphere. When you want to see a storm system, a strong one, this is how it looks here. It's circular, kind of closed off in nature. That means it's an intense, very well-organized upper-level storm system. And the upper levels will be way up high in the atmosphere. That's where your energy is. That's your storm system energy it is. And when you want to look for severe weather or thunderstorms, it happens out ahead of it. That's where your lift is. And you get this strong jet stream wind coming around on the base of it here. And then that moves, at least with this point in time on this particular model run, it shows it moving through Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, northwest Mississippi, over into that area here. And over here into Texas, this would put us in what's called the dry slot, the dry side of it here. That's the kind of the center and back side of it, and that's where that strong wind will be out of the west. Again, if this were indeed to happen. So with this type of a weather pattern, we'd watch for fire weather concerns back here, severe weather possibilities out ahead of it. So let's kind of break it down here. This is Sunday, and again, this is a slight chance for some thunderstorms, a couple, on Sunday afternoon, northwest Texas, southwest parts of Oklahoma. It doesn't look like anything major at this point in time. That zips on by, and as we head towards late Monday and Tuesday, this is that energetic storm system coming on out. This go around, we do have moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico here, and that could trigger some thunderstorms, especially late Monday night, early Tuesday, over here along and east of I-35, and you get later on into Tuesday, that could push over into places like Arkansas, over there in Louisiana, maybe even into northwestern parts of Mississippi here. Then you get, this is that dry side, this is that strong wind side where you get fire weather concerns, and again, that might wind up being a bigger deal than the severe weather event here. It certainly is possible. Again, this is just so far out there, we're just showing you the possibilities here. Now, if we look at the environment that would be favorable for thunderstorms, this particular graphic behind me is called the supercell composite here. It shows where an atmosphere might be more favorable for some thunderstorms, maybe a supercell or two. And as you can see, not much showing up for Sunday, a little dot there along the Red River. But you are going to see this increase some, and you see it increase some late Monday into Tuesday because what's happening here is you're getting more moisture from the Gulf of, again, the Gulf of Mexico here. And at least on this particular model, it shows, this is the GFS, it shows the Arklatex as a favorite area for perhaps some severe weather and some supercell storms there. And that might expand eastward throughout the day on Tuesday into Tuesday night. Another issue with this, if you wind up getting widespread thunderstorms, that also will limit your thunderstorm chances. It gobbles up that energy in the atmosphere. You don't have the instability. And again, a lot of that's going to be pushing kind of away from the southern areas. And you may wind up getting some stuff down here along the south. Of course, again, that's still too far away to know for sure what's going to happen. And if you take a look at the actual precipitation being shown up here, there's that little thunderstorm area Sunday evening. Again, a little bit of thunderstorm activity there with that. But then here we are late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. There's that system starting to kick out, the first little wave. Could see some thunderstorms here, central and maybe north central Texas. And then as we get into Tuesday morning, you see perhaps maybe those thunderstorms trying to increase. But notice how this is lined out. This is elongated out. This might be the development of a squall line here. What you would watch for would be individual supercells that might try to develop out ahead of it. If that were to happen, then you'd have a better chance for these tornadoes. But look at what happens here quickly. By Tuesday afternoon, this indicates to me a large area of thunderstorms, mostly in a linear form. And if that indeed were to happen, then you're looking at mostly just gusty winds, heavy rain, and more in the way of spin-up type tornadoes. But again, this system is still 5 days away. A lot can and will change with it. Just make sure you have a reliable source to watch when it comes to systems like this. Those guys on social media, and I know this video is on social media as well, but I am a meteorologist. I've been doing this. I've been doing this for 20 plus years, working for TV. I've been seeing many, many weather systems that have come through. You know, in my time doing weather, and by 20 plus years, I mean, I can only think of just a few tornado outbreaks that we've actually had. Those usually happen deeper on into the spring when there's more instability. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens. Again, I'm not saying there won't be tornadoes or severe weather with it, but it's just too early to be throwing that out there. It may wind up not being much to it at all. So if you do suffer from storm anxiety, again, find you a good, reliable source, probably not one of these guys on social media, probably one of your local TV meteorologists. They usually do a pretty good job with keeping the hype kind of under wraps here and kind of just giving you the information you need. The Weather Service is also a good source of information for that as well. Or you can follow me, Ken Johnson, right here on my social media pages. Once again, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to do these for you, and I want to thank our sponsor, ServiceMaster, for making these possible.